But I want to start with preparing the environment. So now I'm going to prepare the environment. For that, you can use any environment where you have Python and Jupyter. I'm going to use Codespaces. I like using Codespaces because if all of us use Codespaces, then each of us will get the same environment with same Ubuntu, with same Python, same Docker. So then it's becoming like it will be pretty simple to like, let's say if you have a problem and then you say this doesn't work, then I can say, okay, this is how you can fix this because all of us will be on the same environment. That said, you can choose whatever environment you want. As long as you have Python and you can install Jupyter there, it's fine, right? So I'm going to open GitHub, wrong link. I'm going to open GitHub. I'm going to create a new repository. So you can call it any way you want. So I'll call it LLM Zoomcamp 2026 code, right? Or you can call it Introduction to RAG or whatever you want, right? So if you don't plan to take the course, you just want to focus on this particular workshop, just, I don't know, call it Intro to RAG. Here, it doesn't really matter what you put. Then we want to add README. We create a repository. And as we create a repository, here we have local and Codespaces. I'm going to select Codespaces and click this Create Codespace on main. So right now what is happening is we are getting a new environment in running on GitHub Codespaces, right? It's a remote environment. If you took any of the courses that I teach, so you probably know that I'm a really big fan of this environment. So for you, probably this step is already quite familiar. But if this is the first time you see my workshop, I really, really recommend doing this, like using this remote environment. At least at the beginning. Then once you figure these things out, you can, of course, run things locally. So what happens right now is we run this thing in the browser. I don't like doing this, but I'll probably wait till it initializes. I think I can already do this. So what I want to do now is I have my Visual Studio Code here. I don't really want to use it in the browser. If you want, you can use it in the browser. It doesn't really matter. I just like this experience of having like native environment that is running on my computer. So what I did is I clicked here, bottom left corner, and then there was the drop down list, and right now it disappeared. But one of the things there was open in Visual Studio Code Desktop, and I have Visual Studio Code Desktop installed. That's why now it's opening here. Right. So we're not going to use the assistance. So now I pressed Control backtick to see that I have a terminal here. And let me make it larger. So the first thing I want to install here in this terminal is I want to install UV. So I'll do pip install UV. So UV is a package manager, Python package manager. If you don't use UV, you should start using it right now. It's very fast. It's very convenient. All my projects, but probably I switched to it, was it 2 years ago or maybe less? But ever since I started using it, I don't want to go back. Right? So it's really a nice thing. And now I want to install a few things. So it's UV add and the libraries I want to install. For that, I'm going to go to our lesson number 2 environment, and we will see the things we want to install. So things we want to install are, right now we will also install other things, but right now we need these packages. We need the request package for sending API requests. We are going to use this for getting our data. MinSearch is a search library. We're going to use it for our RAG, for searching RAG, to be able to find relevant things in the FAQ dataset. OpenAI we're going to use for communicating with OpenAI, right? So we are going to use it as our LLM provider. You can choose anything else. You can choose Anthropic, you can use Google Gemini, you can use whatever, right? It doesn't really matter. In this workshop, in this lesson, I'm going to use OpenAI. I recommend you also use OpenAI because you can just follow me along. You will not need to spend, you will need to put some money on your account. Like, I don't think you can put less than $5, but on this lesson, I don't think you'll spend more than 10 cents, probably even less than that, right? So if you don't use it a lot, yeah, then you will not spend a lot of money. But there are alternatives, and I'll leave it up to you to discover these alternatives and try to pour the code that I present here to the alternatives. And I see that there is a question, can I do this on Colab? I'm getting an error for UV init. You can do this on Colab. Instead of using UV on Colab, you will need to use pip. So you will need to do pip install and then this. I would recommend to use Codespaces, not Colab, because some of the things we will do later Colab will not be enough. For now, you can stick to Colab. Okay, so I'm going to install these things. Okay, I needed to do UV init. So UV init initializes a project, then adds this PyProject toml. This is where we describe the dependencies of the project and other things. So now when I do UV add, it adds these dependencies here and installs them. Okay, so we are, while the dependencies are installed, I'll create a file called notebook ipython nb, which is going to be ipython nb, which is going to be our notebook that we're going to use for this session. Right, so we're going to use Jupyter, and I'm going to start by checking that it works. Print 1, 2, 3, 4. And it will, because this is a fresh environment, it will say, hey, I don't have the extensions I need. How about installing them? So now, right now, I'm installing the Jupyter extension. You will need to do it only once. But for each new code space you create, each fresh, like created from scratch, you will need to install it. But otherwise, yeah, just once. Okay, did it work? While it's setting things up, let's see, there's, okay. I was just going to say I'll answer the questions you have, but it's prepared. So now I'm selecting Python environment, and the environment I want to select is the one we just initialized, the one we just created with UV. So this is the environment. Okay, so now it's configured. Now if I run this, ideally I should see 1, 2, 3 appearing here in the cell. Probably first time it runs, yeah, it needs, to connect to kernel. Oh, it works. So I'm going to save it. And now I want to create a file called gitignore. And in this file, gitignore, I want to add the env. So this is our virtual environment, so we don't accidentally commit all the dependencies we downloaded. And another important thing is I'll commit .env. .env file is we're going to use it for keeping our secrets. So the secret I want to have is OpenAI API key, right? So right now, what I will need to do is I'll need to go to platform.openai.com. Okay, I need to log in. Okay, that's me. I thought I was logged in. Okay. And then I'm in home. I think if I just go here, yeah, I'm go to home. And then I want to create, if you don't have a new project, I would recommend to create a new project specifically for this course. Right, so you just can click create project. And then what you do is you create a project that you can call LLM Zoomcamp or whatever. So I always recommend doing this to make sure that you know where you spend the money. So let's say if you have your personal project, you have the course project, you have some other things, and you go here to usage and you see how much money you spent, you know exactly the breakdown, like from which project you spent. Right? So now I go to API keys here, and I'm going to create a new secret key. I'll call it lesson 1 or whatever. So right now I'm going to stop sharing my screen because I don't want you to accidentally see my API key. And you treat the API key as a password, right? So you don't want anyone to see this key, because if your key got leaked, somebody can start using this key and you'll pay, right? So we don't want that. So now I take this key and I go to the .env file I prepared before, and we had this placeholder like replace your key, put your key there, right? So what I'll do is I'll just replace it, and I'm going to close my .env. So now I can share my screen again. So now I have my key. And by the way, if you don't have an account, you will need to create an account in OpenAI, and you will need to deposit $5. As I said, I don't think you can do less than that. Okay, so we configured that. The next step is to load this env file. So for that, we used, let me close this. So for that, we installed this python.env, and this is a library for loading .env file. Right, so right now, I'm going to use this piece of code from .env import load.env, and I see true. It means that it successfully discovered the .env file and loaded the variables from there. And the next step would be to load the OpenAI client. Right now, I hope to see no errors. And if there are no errors, it means that I successfully configured the environment, right? So right now, it didn't throw any errors. It didn't raise any exceptions. It means that things are okay. I see a question, if you can use pip. Yes, you can use pip if you want. I would recommend to use UV, but if you are so inclined to use pip, you can use pip or any other environment manager or dependency manager you have for like your environment. Can we use Gemini API key or Groq API key? Yes, you can. As I said, like here, I show OpenAI as an example, but you can feel free to redo this example to the LLM provider of your choice. You will find a lot of examples on the internet how to use this, how to go from OpenAI to your provider. Probably your provider already has docs about that. And the way we will write code today is quite modular, so you can easily swap OpenAI calls to something else, right? And even I have here an example with Groq, so you can check it, but I'm not going to use Groq right now.